So the Lord doesn't curry favor when you serve Him. That is why when some of us pray, we get all the things, our prayers are always answered. And then others who are praying, my prayers don't answer because mine are so powerful as some people do. Right? So it's the power of your prayer that counts. That bhav with which you say. That bhav means that kind of attitude with which you do the prayer. And who knows that better than the Lord? You could fool me, you could come and chant and say, and I would just say, boy, this man were chanting. I can't judge you because I wasn't you. But the Lord knows. When you chant, you don't have to tell me. Don't tell anybody that I chant. You know, I fasted for so many days and I did. You don't have to tell anybody that. That is between you and the divine. And if you tell me, you could tell me that to show me while you're doing so much and so much. But in your heart it is not really done with that love and devotion. That bhav is not there. But the Lord knows when you do it with that love and devotion, the Lord knows. And He dispenses that amount of blessings for you. So He said, Tehi Samaj Girija Mai Rahi. Girija refers to Mother Parvati. Tehi Samaj. Samaj is just gathering. So Lord Shankara, I tell you, he's relating this katha to Mother Parvati. He said, Parvati, I too was in that Samaj. I was there in that gathering. And when the opportunity came, he says, Tehi Samaj Girija Mai Rahi. Avasar pai bachan eka kahi. He said, I too gave my opinion. I also contributed to what was taking place in the assembly. And if Lord Shankara is making a contribution, tell the world, it has to be a really good contribution. What was that contribution? Tulsidas tells us. Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Hari Vyapak Sattva Samana Premat Pragata Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Kala Jit Jit Umai Kahu To Kaha Kya Prabhu Nahi Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana Premat Pragata Hohi Majana. He says, I know that the Lord Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana. He is all pervading. He is here, there and everywhere. So if He is here, there and everywhere, He knows everything. You don't have to tell Him. You don't have to tell Him of your troubles. He knows. He is present everywhere alike. And Premate Pragata Hohi. Pragata is to appear, to show. Prem is divine love. Somebody here named Prem, is that so? Yes, and He manifests those qualities. Premate Pragata Ho Himajana. It says, He is revealed only by love. That commitment in our heart for the divine, He knows that. Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana Premata Pragata Ho Himajana. He pervades everything, but He is only revealed by prema, by love. And He continues, how kaha huso kaha jaha prabhu nahi desa kala disi vidisi humahi. So he's asking, desa kala disi vidisi humahi. He says, tell me, is there a place, is there a time, is there a quarter of the universe where the Lord is not? If He is omnipresent, omnipresent means present everywhere. Omniscient means all-knowing, He knows everything. Omnipresent means He is present everywhere. Omni means everywhere, all. So, He's asking the question, tell me, is there a place where we can find Lord? Do we have to go to Vaikunth? Do we have to go to the Milky Ocean? Do we have to go to India? Do we have to go wherever to find the Lord? The Lord is here, resident within our hearts, my friend. And only when we cultivate those qualities that are necessary, you see, Valmiki Darshiram, Kama, Krodha, Madamana, Namoha, Lobh, Nachob, Narag, Nadroha. He says, He in whose heart there is an absence of lust, of greed, of anger, of hatred, of jealousy. He says, such persons' hearts, my Lord, are all cleansed to receive you. Go there and make that heart your home. That heart in which your love abides. That is the place where the Lord will be. So he's saying here, is there a place where He's not? He is present here, there and everywhere. In the next shloka he says, Aga jagamay sabarahita biragi premate prabhu pragatay jini adi. He pervades all things, animate as well as in Aga jagam. Animate as well as inanimate, living or non-living. He's in and through everything. And yet He's apart and passionless. What does that mean? He pervades, everything belongs to Him. But He doesn't claim to own anything. He doesn't claim anything for Himself. And He judges everything based upon the circumstance. That is how He sees everything. He is apart and passionless. Passionless means you have no connection. I have a passion for this means I love this in a very particular way. Passionless means I have no liking or no relationship with that. But he says, Prema de Prabhu Pragatay Jimyagi. He is revealed by love, even as fire is manifested by friction. Now I have to explain this for you to understand it. If I take a match grain and the box and I hold the two together, will you get a fire? You will get no fire. But if I hold a match and I strike it against the box, what happens? The fire emerges. Now, did you create that fire? Did you create that fire? You didn't. That fire was always there. But it was there in a latent form. L-A-T-E-N-T. Latent means not manifested. You can't see it. You can't hold it. That fire is present all here and all now, but in a latent form. But it needed a certain condition for it to emerge. And what was that condition? The friction caused by
striking the match on the box. That friction is what causes the fire to emerge. In a similar way, the Lord is present in all hearts, but it needs a certain condition to reveal itself. Now, what is that condition? Praying. Praying is equivalent to that friction. Praying is that divine love. And how does it show itself? In terms, if a godly person, his speech, his thinking, his action, मन से, कर्म से और वचन से, thought, word and deed, he expresses everything good in his actions. In his thinking, he thinks pure thoughts. And when you look at this person, you can see, you can behold a certain kind of magnetism, a certain kind of aura about this person. It is so profound that you don't have to know him. The moment you see him, you are attracted to him because of the pure thoughts. It magnetizes you. His words, his speech is so profound. Mridubani. Beautiful words. Loving words. When he speaks, you want to listen. If he says something that is not pleasing, but the manner in which he says it makes you feel good about it. He tells you, you know something, if I tell you you misbehave, I will tell you in a very raw way, and you might get annoyed with me. But he would tell you the same thing in such beautiful words that you would never feel embarrassed. You will accept that I have faulted and I want to make amends. And his actions are also profound that it attracts you. Whatever he does it in such a way that he creates an atmosphere of goodness around you. Not all people are like that. Very few are like that. In thought, in word and deed. So to just go back on this, just as fire is caused by friction to emerge, so too the Lord emerges within us in terms of our speech and our thinking and our action when we develop that praying. That praying is that friction. And what happened when he said that? Mora bachana sabake manamana sadhu sadhu kar Brahma bakana. Tulsidas is saying that when Lord Shankara spoke, he says, my words found favor with Brahma and with all who were there. You know, let's say in this gathering, some person will come and give such a bright idea that everybody is happy with the idea. And they realize it would redound to the benefit of all of us here. Such was the case when Lord Shankara gave his suggestion. Everybody, they found renewed vigor, they found hope, they found joy from what he said. And even Brahma was saying, he says, Parvati, my words found favor with all. And Brahma applauded me saying, well said, well said. Sadhu, sadhu, Kari Brahma Bhakta. Sadhu is a saint. Well said, saint. Yes, well said. And I bring my lesson to an end this evening. Tulsidas sings in Doha.
Ram Ram Hari Ram
करत सना रामा पुलकी नयना ये आस्तुति करत जो सावधान राम जानकी जन उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुजानो मान की जय उदय सा जगन्नाथ की जय वृंदावन देश जल की जय सब संतन की जय सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। सुनी बिरंची मन हर्षतन पुलकी नयन वहनी पुलकी नयन. You know pulaki? You know when you hear something or you read something or something appeals to you especially, your hair stand on end, that is pulaki. So when he said that, Tulsidas says, he was glad at heart to hear the words emanating from the divine lips of Lord Shankara. And he said his hair stood on there. And Nayan Vahani, his eyes copiously began to rain tears. Sometimes we feel that inner sense of joy that it brings tears to our eyes. Now there are two types of tears. You have hot tears and you have cool tears. Cool tears and when there is a deep sense of revelation within you, a great sense of joy, those tears are cool. But when you are in great trouble, you get annoyed and so on, people against you and you begin to cry, that tears is hot. So when you feel that sense of joy and peace within you, it appeals to you especially, it touches something within you. The eye begins to shed tear. That tear is cool. That was the kind of tears that Brahma was shedding at that moment. And then, Astuti karata jori karat. Jori, he put his hand together. Astuti is praise. He began to sing praises of the Lord. And Savadhana Matidhi, with folded hands, he chanted his praises in very composed fashion. He felt a great joy. And he himself, Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, began to sing praises to the Lord. So my dear friends, we saw the challenges that Mother Earth. And when we go further down the lesson, it would reveal to you how the Lord came out of what it is. But that would be for another time. So in tonight's katha, we saw where challenges are always there amongst us, within us, within family, out of family, and we are facing that every day. But how we address that situation makes us what we are. We can say, okay, I go take a gun and I go shoot everybody around me. Did that help the situation? It made things worse. And you lose your life in the process also. So you made a mess of everybody around you, and you yourself lose your life. It didn't create anything. So Mother Earth, she went where all the other gods were. Everybody faces the same situation, but you have company, and you can talk about it. And when you talk about your sufferings, it tends to relieve you somewhat. That which you have bottled up within you, there's a vent now as everybody begins to speak. And then in the process of that, they decided to do something. I should go to Brahma. But even having gone there, spending so much time to go in Brahma's school, you still didn't get what you wanted. Do you give up then? We still don't give up. Then they sat in council and they're thinking, where can we find the Lord? And up come Lord Shankara in this audience and gives a brilliant idea that changes the whole scenario. Everything changed when he gave this direction. So Lord Shankara here is representative of a person of great and profound thinking, a great thinker, a great teacher, a great philosopher. When you are in the presence of these kinds of people, there is hope. But if you go to places where people are not qualified, you won't get that kind of knowledge. So find yourself always where there are great thinkers, great teachers, noble people, dignified and honorable people. When you're in that kind of companionship, you are sure to get some kind of belief. And having heard from Lord Shankara, even Brahma began to clap and began to sing praises. And everybody else, their minds are now calm. The anxiety in their hearts are no longer there. And where can we find, friends? All this we can find in our scripture text. The Ramayana is a living literature. It is evergreen. Every kind of situation that you think about is present here. And that is the brilliance of Sant Tulsidas' Sri Ram Krishna. Prem se bolo Siyabar Ramachandra Bhagwan. My grateful thanks to all of you for coming here this evening, for supporting the family, the Bal family.